XRP, the global solve for this financial collapse. You're going to want to watch this one till the end.
I ain't gonna give in now. I just gotta live this now. I be gonna be when I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town, cause I gotta be that king in the ring when I'm knocking them out when I'm back with the will. Cause I am just off on the journey. You just know that I'm just going insane.
Warriors, rise. Grand rising warriors as I turn off my manifestation alarm. Grand rising. My name is Coach JB. I am the top health, mindset, crypto, and business coach in the world. Remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. Now, is XRP the solve for the global financial collapse? Well, let's break down what's actually happening. You're going to want to watch all the way to the end of this video as I break down what I believe is going to happen with XRP. None of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I wouldn't make any decisions based on what I'm sharing with you guys. This is just the information I'm presenting to you. Facts, figures, numbers, logic. You should always make your own informed decisions. So the Fed will hike rates once more in November and then stop because of the soaring dollar risk, breaking markets, market veteran Ed Yadinin says. You have to understand what's happening in America right now. I showed you guys yesterday. If you haven't watched yesterday's video, they kind of like fold together, right? America's GDP is so massive. Our market and our market share is so massive in the global economy. When we raise interest rates, other countries start pulling their money and putting it into the American dollar. But what goes up must come down. And I just want to show you this tweet thread here. And then I'm going to show you what I think is happening at the end. So Credit Suisse, I was calling it Credit Suisse, shares tank as capital concerns spark reminders of Lehman Brothers failure. Here's what we know. Shares of Credit Suisse plunged to an all-time low on Monday as investors traded on concerns about the Swiss bank giant financial health and the management's ability to restructure the institution in a manner that would satisfy skeptics who believe the bank's capital position is at great risk. Well, this was interesting, okay? So there was like this thing going on where you see this here. You go down here and it talks about Fox News here. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. So this is, I want you to walk through this mentally. So think about this. So this says, making matters worse, more difficult, are a series of unverified reports linked to Credit Suisse sent to social media into a frenzy over the weekend, with an unnamed large investor telling Fox business reporter Charles Gasparini Saturday, the bank is a disaster. Well, so obviously he reported that, right? And there was some quick backpedaling. So think about this. He put this out, sends everything into a frenzy, and that's all of a sudden breaking. He puts out consensus among top Wall Street banks on Credit Suisse is the issue plaguing the investment banks are not as dire as the social media speculation on the CDS trading would indicate, but they're all watching very closely, monitoring their exposure. So I don't know if somebody said something is like, dude, you need to put out a tweet. It's throwing people into a frenzy. Okay. Breaking right after that. Wall Street execs who met recently about Credit Suisse CEO Aldrich Corner say that we're assured the bank's issues involving are confined to its troubled iBank and the entire firm has adequate liquidity and capital. Then again, that's what Dick Fold said. So basically, they're talking about what's happening right now. So there's obviously something happening. The British pound collapses last Monday. The Bank of England goes into crisis on Wednesday. Now we got Credit Suisse going back and forth. We're good. We're not good. We're good. We're not good. So Credit Suisse may or may not be a Lehman moment, but something is going to break. I'm telling you guys, the global financial system is being reset. We know that. What is it going to be reset to? The ISO tokens, blockchain, real-time payments. Banks are going to be crypto banks. Crypto exchanges are going to become banks. It is coming quicker than we think. So as all this is collapsing around us, as the American people are being crushed and people worldwide are being crushed in the middle class moving down to the working poor, They're switching the monetary system to get all the money into the system. So Credit Suisse shares par losses after tanking on restructuring capital concerns. Okay. So at the same time, all this stuff is happening. I wanted to show you all the FUD and the confusion going on. The same time, on October 3rd, U.S. Treasury encourages new laws to address crypto regulation gaps. So they're pushing hard. They're like, let's go. Biden administration urges Congress to speed up crypto rules. Top financial regulators call for new laws to cover digital assets such as Bitcoin. The Biden administration has called on Congress to pass new laws to clear up how cryptocurrencies should be regulated. As officials warn, delays on Capitol Hill could put investors at risk. Okay, the U.S. Financial Stability Oversight, a group of country's top financial regulators, which include Treasury, issued a report on Monday urging politicians to come to an agreement on a number of different areas, including how to regulate Bitcoin and other crypto assets sold on the spot market. They are in a frenzy right now. The financial system is collapsing, the old paradigm. We're moving into a new financial system. Regulations going to be put in place. This will be normalized at some point in around 2025. Everything will be tokenized. And those, not financial advice, who invested in long-term, fundamental, real-world solved cryptocurrencies and blockchain technologies and software companies will be the new 1%. So why do I think XRP is going to be a big part of this game? Think about the players in the game. We got Rosie Rios right here. Rosie Rios. Okay, this is very, very important to understand. So Rosie Rios is here sharing her opinion on what is happening. Now we need to listen to what she's saying. She came from the Treasury. She said she is one of the last people to sign the $100 bill, and she is responsible for bringing in a new currency. That was her words. Okay, so let's listen to what she has to say.
I chose Ripple. I had a lot of options, but I chose them because they have a functional role. So they facilitate cross-border payments. It's one of their functions with XRP. So it's not just some floating asset out there. They actually have a purpose, right? And so you know, it was the right choice for me. Someone else might have some.
So I'm in the XRP army.
Okay,
to let
yay,
you know,
excellent.
I'm a firm believer of the utility component.
Excellent.
And hopefully this thing going on right now, the SEC will go away soon.
I think what President Biden's executive order that he announced in March to have this kind of reconnaissance of digital assets for this calendar year is an important one. It may not get to very specific recommendations, but I think the best you're going to hope for, at least today, is at least a path forward.
Sure.
How do you start these conversations? How do you, one of my favorite phrases that you'll hear me quote all the time is, the train's already left the station. Blockchain is here to stay. Absolutely. Because of fractional real estate, art, NFTs, whatever. It's here to stay. But how do we lay the tracks?
Absolutely.
How do you lay the tracks?
And I've never heard the other side of the table, but I imagine both sides are trying to figure out, like, we're trying to figure out
Absolutely.
the rule book. Like,
Absolutely.
we're trying to figure, it's never been done.
Look, and here's the thing.
It's very challenging on both sides.
This economy needs innovation to recover.
Boom. Right there. This economy needs innovation to recover. It has to, there's a reset. It has to reset. They can't keep this casino going. It's impossible. You can't keep this going. It needs a reset. Okay, so this came out 3 days ago. Basel study shows the world's largest banks are exposed to $9 billion in crypto assets. A first of its kind, published by the Basel Committee of the Banking Supervision, details that the world's largest financial institutions are exposed to roughly 9.4 billion, or 9 billion, in crypto assets. The research paper, authored by Basel Committees, I can't pronounce that name, further explains that out of the bank's total risk exposure, cryptocurrency exposure is estimated to be around 0.01% of total exposure. Okay. And banks are fighting to get more exposure on the books. The crypto assets exposure the banks reported mostly consists of Bitcoin, which is around 31% of exposure, Ethereum, which is 22% of exposure. In addition to exposure, USD-backed stablecoin, banks are also associated with cryptos like XRP, ADA, Solana, LTC, and XLM. I'll just leave you with that, Warriors. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. As I shared with you guys on yesterday's video, I'm talking to my team today, tomorrow, my marketing team, and we're going to be moving the academy back to private within the next probably 2 quarters. And so if you want to get grandfathered into the Warrior Academy, we used to run it as a completely private academy, interview process only. So if you're on the fence about joining the Warrior Academy, I highly recommend you jump in within the next 6 months. You can check everything out at 3twarrioracademy.com. You won't regret it. You come in for the first 7 days. If you're not fully satisfied, you get 100% money back guarantee. This is one of the best academies in the world. Light, love, positivity, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, our revolutionary 120-day challenge, 130 cryptocurrency courses, education, access to my portfolio, honestly showing you exactly what I do. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just honest. I just show you exactly what I'm doing. Wealth building call with me every single Thursday, and we have 7 calls per week, connection calls. If you really engage yourself, it will be one of the greatest investments in human history. Well, it's not an investment, SEC, just so you know. It's a education platform, an investment in yourself, which is not a security. Well, it is kind of a security investment in yourself because you're securing your wealth in your mind. Love you guys. Warriors, rise. Get your shit together. Let's go.